Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tembisa. Glad to be here this morning. It's a lovely morning outside and I woke up with this thought. I don't know where it came from. Unconditional love. And when it came through my mind, I said to myself, unconditional love, that does not exist. That's all the thoughts that were coming through my thoughts, my spirit. Does it exist? I say no, it does not exist, obviously from my perspective. It might exist for you. And then I'm thinking, I don't know, I remember once I was at some church, I can't remember what church, because I did go around, some few churches, just trying to listen to different views and this resonated with me. They were talking about agape love. I mean, this is not an academic discussion. This literally is just something I woke up with and I thought, this is interesting. Let me talk about it on the channel and just hear, other people's views. So in my very, of course, little understanding, agape love, they say it's the highest form of love, which is like God's love. And then I'm challenging that and I'm saying, but wait a minute. I mean, let me just, a disclaimer, first of all, I'm not very well versed in the Bible, and I don't want to be actually. I feel like I know enough, the little bit that I know, yes. Because, I never liked the idea of debating scripture. You see people debating scripture and, this one knows better than the rest and whatnot. I just didn't see any fruits in that. And so I was saying that to myself, of course, because I'm only talking to myself about this. And now, thankfully, I get to speak to you. And so I feel like even in my view or in my experience, could I say my experience? I'll say in my view, I'll just limit it to that even God's love has conditions, isn't it? Because I feel like, do we not have the 10 commandments? I almost said the 7 commandments, the 10 commandments, where in my view it says, you do this. And I mean, obviously I don't think that the 10 commandments say if you don't do these things, or if you do these things, God will take his love away from you. No, because I know somewhere in the scriptures it says, nothing can separate us from the love of God. So, for me, of course, anyway, this is not to discuss scripture. I mean, I know nothing about that. But, I am a Christian. And so, but also a kind of Christian that is not limited to religion and Christianity, because, as I teach my children as well to explore and learn and see what works. I'm not going to confine anybody to anything. So if you feel there's aspects of the Muslim that works for you, Buddhism, whatever practice, that I know, there are Christians who are very much dogmatic about that. But I mean, that's your thing. It's got nothing to do with me. So for me, you can practice whatever you like, and that is fine as long as it works for you. So let's get into this. So I'm saying my view. I just thought about this, that does unconditional love exist? My answer is no, it cannot possibly exist, because there are no, we are just people, we are fallible, we fall short of grace. And so it's completely and utterly impossible, unless we're lying to ourselves and to others, to say, I love you unconditionally, to the extent that I don't even believe. I mean, I tell my children that there is no such a thing as unconditional love. I'm not going to be lying to you, all right? I mean, I will support you, I will, love you, but, I don't want to take it higher than that to say it's unconditional, because what a lie that will be. What a lie that will be. So then I thought, okay, let's go to Dr. Google, because I just want to see, what do they say about the subject. So obviously, disclaimer, I am literally now reading from Google. If I was clever enough to send you the link at this stage, I don't even know how to do that, so I'm just making these videos, but at some point I will link this so you can look and research for yourself, because obviously I can't discuss all of this, and it would be nice also if you just go read it for yourself and all of that. So yes, just to say, this is not my intellectual property. I am literally verbatim reading this from Google, and I want us to just immerse ourselves into what they are saying, just for you to think about it and just challenge yourself, challenge your thoughts. And yeah, so it says here, what is, okay, firstly there they talk about unconditional love, and it says, simply put, this is love without strings attached. It's love you offer freely. You don't base it on what someone does for you. No strings attached does not exist. There's always strings attached, isn't it? There's always strings. If we want to be honest, there's always strings attached, and there's nothing for free, because do we not expect something in return? Of course, we try to pretend that we don't want anything in return, but that is a lot of nonsense, okay, in my view. It says here, what is the meaning of unconditional love? It says, unconditional love, simply put, it's love without strings attached. It's love that you offer freely. You don't base it on what someone does for you in return. You simply love them and want nothing more than their happiness. I've heard this from, these deeply spiritual people like, what is this man's name? Like Abo Sadhguru, Abo Katie Byron, those people who are deeply spiritual, who are awakened. I suppose when you get to that level, I mean, for me, of course, even at their level, I think there's a level of untruth because they are simply people at the end of the day. They're not higher beings, you know. Yes, I understand the notion of being awakened and, you know, operating at a higher vibration. So, yeah, so I'm saying, it says this type of love, sometimes called compassionate or agape love, might sound somewhat familiar. I mentioned agape love, you know, earlier, which is linked to God's pure love. So, okay, this was also very interesting. Is unconditional love real love? And it says here, the best way to sum up the difference between the two is that true love is sometimes fleeting feeling, whereas unconditional love is an active choice to continue loving with no expectation or rewards. So, you know, of course, this true love, we say it's true love. I mean, it's like butterflies in your stomach kind of love, which, you know, is not kind of real, because, you know, unconditional love is when you make a choice to love someone regardless. Yeah, because of course, true love, you know, is not going to last, you know, in this lifetime. You know, you have to make a choice to love. Now, what was truly, truly interesting, which really resonated with me, is this question. It says, is unconditional love painful? As I read that, I feel a tinge of pain in my heart, in my spirit, in my whole being. Because, you know, before I even read it, I can say that, of course, if you have decided to participate in unconditional love, it must be the most painful thing. I mean, I do believe Jesus died for us, and in my view, he will be but the only person who can demonstrate and give unconditional love. Although immediately I am contradicting myself, because I've said before, earlier, even God, which is Jesus, in the Trinity, to say, well, I don't know, you know, because I question everything. So I say, I don't know even if God, you know, I mean, this is not blasphemy. This is just me having my thoughts. And I think that I'm allowed, and I think my God allows for me to ask the questions, you know, in order for him to give me the answer. Because I know, you know, there's some very gangster Christians out there who will be like, oh, this, that, and the other. No, 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 no. Please do your own thing. Be your Christian for your own self. I do my thing with my God. So don't dictate to me, you know, how I'm supposed to think and all of that. Okay. So let's answer this. Is unconditional love painful? It says here, unconditional love is gruesome. They use the word gruesome, painful, and sacrificial way to care for one another, human being. It is not butterfly kisses, a steamy night of passion or joy a son brings in the mother's heart. It is so much deeper than that. It is endless. And this is the reason why I say, us human beings who are fallible are simply not capable of unconditional love. Well, I'm not speaking for you. I'm speaking for myself, because I've accepted that unconditional love does not exist for me in my body. I love, and I love deeply, you know, but I will not take it higher than that. So, yes, that was interesting. Of course, there's lots of other topics, below this topic. And so, I'm not going to discuss everything, but I thought, let me confine myself to this. I don't want the video to be too long. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe if you haven't. Like the video, comment on the video, and tell me about your experience of unconditional love, if it exists. Tell me, does unconditional love, in your view, exist between you and your parents, between you and your children, between you and your siblings, between you and your friends? Or let's just talk about instances where we can truly say we have demonstrated and practiced unconditional love. It should be interesting, because then I need to just accept that other people actually have unconditional love. It's just you, Tembisa, you need to do better. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for spending time with me again, and have a wonderful day. I will see you later. Goodbye.